Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Appreciate Jakai Newton joining us here on this fine day. One of Indiana's newest recruits arriving here on campus. Jakai, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. Now you're getting ready to leave and come up to Indiana to arrive on campus. There's got to be excitement of that. Just going off to college, period. Going away from home, all that stuff.
Most definitely. I mean, it's what I've been working for, so it's finally time to get to it.
And of course, being down there in Georgia, moving up to Indiana, getting away from the family. And I know you've been away from the family with AAU and all that kind of stuff, but this is probably going to be the first time for an extended period. I'm sure your parents are excited, but a little disappointed to see you leave the house.
Yeah, mom's let me know every time she see me.
Oh, the moms will always let you know that, but I'm sure she'll be getting up to Bloomington as often as she can.
For sure.
What are you looking forward to upon arriving on campus in Bloomington?
Man, I mean, it's so much. I got to work out. As soon as I get there, I'm going to hit the gym, get situated, though, get all my stuff in, but just looking forward to meeting the guys on the team.
And that was one of the things I'm going to ask you about. Obviously, relationships with coaches hugely important in the recruitment and everything that goes on. First of all, the relationship with the coaches you committed in 2021, so you've been committed to Indiana for a couple of years. So you've got to have a deep set of a great relationship with your coaches at Indiana.
Most definitely, I trust all the coaches, and I feel like they'll prepare me the best. So
who's the coaches you have worked with closer so far?
Coach Al.
Yeah, Yazir. I've seen them pictures of you two together, and what is there anything that makes that relationship special?
Yeah, actually, so this is a little minute ago. 10th grade, going into the 10th grade, we had a tournament down here with all the high schools, a fall league tournament. And I was at the time, I think I was like 15. So I ended up playing real good. And Coach Yah, he was on like him and another dude, they had like a podcast or something, and they were talking about the best players from the whole fall league. And Coach Yah brought me up, and he said I have the potential to be a high major recruit. At the time I was 15. So just like seeing him, he knew about me, and he believed in me before anybody. So that's how that started.
Well, and what does that mean to you for someone to have that kind of confidence in you? You can have it in yourself. You have to have it in yourself to perform. But when that first person who of relevance, I guess I would say, from Indiana, whatever it is, that first person that has that kind of confidence in you, man, what does that do for you?
Man, it just takes the pressure off of you. Like it's just pressure off of you, just knowing that somebody realizes the work you put in.
And then playing like during the different AAU circuits and tournaments, it's different than high school because it's a different level. Everybody on most of those teams were probably the best players on their high school teams, so that really lifted up the talent level. What was that like, and preparation for getting you ready for college?
To my like, which is AAU.
Yeah,
I mean, AAU, fast pace. A lot of transition game, a lot of stuff that'll translate to the Big Ten. And that's what I think.
And in watching Indiana play in the last 2 years under Mike Woodson, what have you seen that with your game, what you look that you can bring in to help? Obviously, you're being a combo guard. That 2 spot is something Indiana really needs to get some scoring out of. And I know you're able to get to the rim. Shooting the ball has been a key thing that Indiana really needs. Where's your game going to help the Hoosiers?
Well, yeah, like you said, being a combo guard too. Biggest thing for me, I love to play defense. I take pride in defense. I jump with anybody. I try and block any shot. So I try and do that. And I can shoot the ball too, catch and shoot, or I can create my own shot, whether that's step backs or coming off a screen. I like to attack the rim. I like to cut too. So like when they double team the bigs, anything, I like to find an open spot. I like to hustle, just be a dog out there. So that's where I see myself.
And that word right there is something we've heard a lot in just the last couple of years, because those are the guys that you see. Those are the guys that go on, and those are the guys that get the minutes on the floor, and make the differences in their teams and what their team success. And that's something that Indiana has. I'm not saying the last year, but in the last couple of years before that, they hadn't really had a lot of that. And you're going to be at Welcome Edition in that, but also the competition is going to be ratcheted up when you get to Indiana, and you're going to need all of that, your defensive intensity. But how much forward are you looking to the battles with your own teammates?
Man, I can't wait. I'm going at everybody.
Anybody else you looking forward to? Specifically, some guys with not, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean the challenge that you're looking forward to.
I say X. Most definitely him, because he's very quick, strong guard too. So I can't wait to play him. I feel like he can make me better, and I feel like I can make him better.
Defending him, absolutely. I would hope that that would certainly put you on your heels. But yeah, that's a great challenge to take on a fifth-year senior, the guy who's going to be leading the team. And to hear you say that has got to make Indiana fans feel good, because that's what you want. You want guys who want the challenges. Because if you're not taking the challenges, you're probably not going to raise yourself. What's pushed you to be like that, to be the guy that wants that challenge, the highest challenge on every level, whether it's offensively or defensively?
I really just know that like the game isn't promised. Like you can't never take nothing for granted. Every time I put my shoes on, I always want to go 100%, because I never know. It could be my last game. It could be my last time practicing. I don't know that. So that's why I just try to give it my all every time.
What was it about Indiana that stood out? I know you have a great relationship with Jan. That was a big reason. What else do you have? What have you learned as far as the tradition of Indiana basketball? What are some of the things that went into that decision-making process for you?
Well, Coach Wilson also, obviously, he made the head coach. He was a big part of it too, just knowing he comes from the NBA, so he knows what it takes, especially with guards too. So and then Indiana just kept it real with me. They didn't give me no fake promises like some other schools. They just kept it 100 with me. So I really appreciated that, and that always stuck with me.
And we hear a lot about that, not regarding Indiana, but there just being a lot of that out there now, especially with the NIL world and the transfer portal world, that there's a lot of schools that make promises that basically don't come true. I mean, we've seen Hunter Dickinson kind of insinuate that and things like that. And that's one thing I have heard. Indiana does not do that, but how obviously that is hugely important. How did that guide you away from some other places?
Like, just people, like, you could just tell when something sounds too good to be true. Like, me being a freshman, it's already going to be tough enough for me. So for somebody to just come in and tell me and promise me a bunch of stuff that they can't guarantee, it's just a red flag off the rip. So.
Well, and that's great and interesting to hear players say that, because that's something we don't hear. But we know that's going on, and it doesn't have to be from the school necessarily. It can be there's NIL that's going on out there, and that has changed so much since you committed to Indiana to arriving on campus. You've gone from there not being any NIL till when you get here, baby, it's hello. You got to be looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
How exciting is that, though, to know that you can do that, to do things like that you can make money off of who you are, what you've worked to become, and also help your team along the way?
Man, I feel like it's long overdue. I feel like kids should have been getting paid. We putting our bodies on the line along with school, and to not make a dollar off of it, knowing where a lot of these players come from. They don't come from nothing, but they making millions of dollars for the school, and they can't get a dime off of it. So I think it's long overdue.
And then along with that, and I agree with you. And then there's got to be both ways now. How much responsibility you talk about being someone who is obviously gives their all, but talk about the responsibility that the players have now for living up to the other side.
To my what with the NIL?
Yeah. When they're getting paid and making sure that they're doing the things that you talked about.
Financial literacy is just you gotta be smart when you get your money, because a lot of people go from not getting none to getting a whole bunch and they don't know what to do with it. Just got to be smart and don't blow it, save it. I would invest it or do something else with it, but you just got to be ready for it.
And I can tell you right now, you're a hell of a lot smarter than I was. Nobody was giving me anything back then. I wasn't good enough to earn it anyway. But if they had been, I would not have been smart enough like you. What all have you done though? Has it been your parents helping you, talking to you, saying, "Hey, man, you're going to be coming into this, and so you need to be prepared. You need to be ready. You need to make some right decisions here," because it sounds like you're already kind of ahead of the game there.
Yeah, my uncle, he downstairs. He do real estate. He do the stocks too. He got me my first stock account when I was 13. So my family, they just big on like just being smart with money, and just a lot of stuff too. Like I got a book right here too that I'm finna start reading.
The Talk About Money.
Yeah, just trying to just educate myself on it.
So you already have stocks accounts. How many different stocks do you have now already?
Couple got cryptocurrency. I'm trying to get into AI too though. With like what's going on with AI, artificial intelligence, like all the different crazy stuff. I'm trying to get into that, but might get into marijuana, a couple pharmaceutical stocks too. So
there's a lot out there, but that just shows the intelligence of our youth, man. They're a lot smarter than some of the adults like me. But man, that's awesome. And congratulations to your uncle, by the way. What's his name?
my Uncle Brandon.
Uncle Brandon. Yep. Uncle Brandon, Uncle B. But yeah, shout out to Uncle B, because that is, and your mom, Bettina. Man, it's Uncle B and Mama B.
My pop's name too, Brandon. Mom's, my auntie, everybody, Nana, all of them here. They all got.
And how often will they all get to come up to Bloomington?
Oh, my mom and pops will be up there probably all the time. Nana will be up there too a little bit. Try to get my uncle and aunties up there too. So yeah, I'm gonna have a fam up there.
Family affair in Bloomington, and it'll be looking forward to that.
Yes,
you're the players, we talked about them. You haven't had a chance to probably meet all of them or be around all of them. I'm sure you've met some of them. Who do you know already? Who did you know prior to committing, or did you know anybody prior to committing?
Before committing, I ain't know nobody. I wasn't even watching basketball like that. So as soon as when I started getting my offers and stuff, that's when I really started watching.
And since the commitment, have you talked to kind of everyone who's on the team now, with the exception of maybe some of the transfers?
Yeah, I pretty much talked to everybody except the new guys.
Have you met? How many of them have you actually got to meet?
All of them except the transfers.
Okay, cool. So how's that gone? How is it coming into a situation like that? Now, for you, it's a freshman, so it's a normal situation. Then we've got transfers that come in. And so once you get here, you're going to have to deal with that, because that's just the nature of the business now. And I hate to use the word business, but is what it is, right? But that's going to be something that is probably going to be there. New teammates every year, which you're going to have that. But the transfer portal is always going to be something hanging in there. How do you deal with managing all this stuff at once?
Like you said, that's just how it is. I mean, I can't control it. I just got to be ready when I get there. So I control what I can control. That's it.
And having watched Indiana play in the last couple of years, what are you looking forward to doing to elevating their level of play now? Last year, they made the NCAA tournament, of course, again, going to Albany, getting knocked off by Miami, but moving them forward deeper into the tournament is what the fans are looking for. They've got a great roster coming in with yourself, in addition to lots of other guys. And you mentioned Xavier coming back as well. So it's looking to be a fun season in Bloomington.
Most definitely. I think we're going to shock a lot of people this year.
And by that, what are your expectations?
At least a Final Four.
Big Ten champions.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's and of course, so now you're coming to Indiana, and I know that you had no reason to look at it because you said you weren't watching basketball in that way. One thing I was going to ask, it's so different now. Guys don't seem to have favorite teams anymore because there's just so much spread out with AAU and this and that. I noticed you got a Westbrook jersey behind you. There's another one over here. There on your other side, there's a poster. Who's that dunking? Is that a Duke?
That's Westbrook.
Oh, so it's all Westbrook for you, man.
Yeah, it's my favorite player.
So you're all. So what about his game? Do you like? And is there similarities to your game?
He's just a dog. I just love how he go out there every game and give 100%. He only 6'3", but he grabbing rebounds over 7-footers. Like I just love how hard he attack and just how he play. And as far as
what drew you to that? When did you first see that? When did you first started noticing that?
I was young, probably middle school. Put on one of his games, and I just seen him like going. This around the time where he was winning, like he was all-star and winning MVPs and stuff. And I just seen it was one game, probably had like 40, just dunking on everybody, attacking. Like he was just a dog. He's like, even though he was the best player on the court, it's like he still wanted it more than everybody.
Now, and I knew you had to deal with an injury that cost you. Was it the AAU season last year?
Yeah, on my birthday last year.
And you got through all that, got back in. How was it having to deal with that? I mean, that had to be very, very difficult for you mentally.
Oh, most definitely. It was tough. I mean, even now I'm still dealing with it. Like I'm still not even 100%. Even when I came back and playing high school season, I wasn't even 100%. So I'm still dealing with it. Mentally, it was definitely tough for me knowing that I put in so much work. Because I mean, your senior year, like your AAU and that last senior year, that's the biggest time for like a high school athlete because you're getting ready for college. So to know I missed out on that time, got invited to all the camps, the NBA camps and all that, just watching people live out my dreams while I'm sitting at home. I can't even walk for 2 months. Like it was definitely tough on me. So
feeling good now coming in as you head to Bloomington. What are you looking forward to once you get here? Because camp's going to start, man. You guys are going to be going at it.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm looking forward to really getting healthy. That's my number one thing, so I can show what I can do.
And how are you feeling now?
I say I'm about 85%.
Well, look, I know Indiana fans look forward to seeing you next fall. You're one of the exciting elements to this new team that Indiana has with a roster that is fraught with trouble for opposing teams. Talk about the roster because they've added some pieces to that. You got some big men that they've added with Kaleo Air and you've daggone it from Anthony Walker from Miami, Sparks from Ball State. So they've and Malik Renew already in place. A solid front court for Indiana. Then you've got yourself added to and Xavier back, Trey Galloway back, CJ Gunn, Caleb Banks, amongst others. Have you thought about the parts and how they're going to fit and looking for how they're going to work together?
I haven't thought too much about it. Mainly just been trying to think about what I'm gonna do to get myself in there. But I'm excited for our team. I think we got a lot of guys who can do a lot of different things. I feel like we can really like jump on teams with our defense and our energy. I feel like we can do that this year. But yeah, we got a lot of guys who doing a lot of things. So I'm excited about this year.
How much time have you gotten to actually watch Indiana play? Because I know you've been playing yourself, you've been rehabbing and doing all the other things you've had to do.
I've been watching when I was getting my offers and getting my when I got my offer from Indiana, that's when I started tuning into them. And then my last year I was hurt, so I was watching every game.
Were you able to pick up a lot of the things that Mike Whitson's trying to do and get an understanding of what he's trying to do?
Yeah. And then they told me what they was trying to do when I go on my visit stuff, sitting in there watching film with the team too. So yeah.
And how much does that help when you're watching it to get a better understanding? And how does that put you ahead of the game when you get here?
Yeah, I feel like you have to watch. You got to watch it. You got to see yourself in that position and see yourself making them plays.
Well, Jakai, man, I know you got to get busy, and I cannot thank you enough. It's an exciting week for you. You just graduated high school, number one, so congratulations on that.
Appreciate you.
But you're moving in to moving on up to Bloomington, to college, to start your IU career. Congratulations on that, man. And congratulations to your family. I hope you guys had a great holiday weekend last weekend, and looking forward to seeing you in Bloomington.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Jakai Newton, one of Indiana's newest recruits, arriving on campus this week. We've got more coming up here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Back with it right after this.